Okay. So you get sentenced to 30 years?
Which one?
Well,
I,
what was the
well,
first long sentence that you got?
I got framed after the long sentence. I was one of the first to get the 3 strikes. After being framed by police then, I got a 35-year to life sentence for $2 worth of drugs.
Okay, what kind of drugs?
Cocaine. But $2, I wasn't even threatening life. They implemented a law in 1994. They had been trailing me for 90 days. Placed some drugs on me to make me a poster child for the 3 strikes.
Hmm.
And I got 35 years to life for a law that was written in 1994 that went backwards and said my priors that happened in 75, 76 are strikes.
Aha.
So,
Okay. But this is much later. This is 94. We're talking 79, 80,
at
81.
79, you was getting 3 years for robbery.
Right.
See, I was going in and out.
Right. So what were you getting convicted of along the way?
Robbery.
So robberies.
I never been convicted of violence against any person.
Okay.
I've strictly robbing or guns.
Okay. Armed robberies. I assume. Okay. And how much time were you getting for each of these robberies?
Once again, they didn't have no laws. We was getting
In and out.
2 years, 3 years, 16 months. As juveniles, I was arrested 35 times for robbery.
Okay. So at 17, you stopped gangbanging.
Pretty much.
Okay. Were you locked up during that time or you were out?
Well, from 13, 14, I went to jail all the way almost till 94 when I got the life sentence. I was in and out. It was a revolving door. I had got caught up in the juvenile justice system. So, yeah.
Well, you said something interesting. You said they've always had gangs. The only difference with the Crips and Bloods is they're anti-black. Everything else was pro-black. That's why I stopped. That's why the movement stopped.
Yeah, the civil rights movement stopped because of Crips and Bloods. When we started going to prison, we had to fight the Mexican mafia, the black guerrilla family. We coming in there following George Jackson, Geronimo Pratt. These were, they just had the San Marin shootout where they went and tried escaping from San Quentin, from Soledad to Soledad Brothers and all that. And here it is, a group of young blacks coming in for getting into it with blacks. They didn't like that. So that was another war that people don't even know about, where you had to check your guns into the county when you come in. It ain't no carrying no gun now. You better have some heart.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting way to look at it. That Crips and Bloods usually shoot other black people.
Well, that whatever his name is, Professor Tyson, you know, I got a saying. Every race has a organization that will kill me and my fellow blacks because of the color of our skin, but blacks only kill blacks because of the areas they stay in. See, we got a system set up to where they created to where it's basically if you make a trap, let's go in LA off 83rd and Western. If I go south, I'm going to end up in Beverly Hills, so I know I better not go there because I get caught doing what I do in the inner city, so I'm going to fool around and get the death penalty. Going to an all-white. If I go to Palos Verdes, south, now I'm going to Palos Verdes, south. That's where they were sending us from there. They had a 99.9 conviction rate where they had to overturn all the judges and tear down the whole courtroom. But that's where we were going to court as juveniles. If I go to the west, we got the beach. If I go to the east, we got Westminster. So what happens is, and we're trapped inside, like rats in a maze. And if you get too hungry, rats eat rats. So what happens is, it's very easy, first of all, to kill a stranger. Very easy to kill a stranger in LA. And then you go and do that, and then you run back because we're the closest, because it's more easier to get away. So we only prey on each other because of the closeness and the nearness. Like, for instance, I'm not going to leave 83rd and Western and go all the way to Compton to shoot nobody. But we also don't know who's all shooting. Could be the police, which go on. We don't know. Then you have the gun violence. There's multiple ways to where we're being oppressed where you can get killed by gunfire. Very dangerous in these streets, these inner cities, these pockets of poverty, as Obama called them.